The Abuja Division of the Federal High Court has granted 10 million naira bail each to minors arrested during the #End Hunger demonstrations in August. Of the 76 protesters, at least 32 were children ranging from 14 years old to 17 years old. Now, after 4 of them collapsed in court on Friday and were rushed to a medical facility for treatment. Now, Justice Obiora Egwuatu asked the defendants to provide 2 sureties, one of whom must be a civil servant on at least grade level 15. Now, Nigerians have continued to react on this development. Now, the latest on this is that President Tinubu has actually ordered the immediate release of these kids and has, of course, asked the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs to follow up on that in terms of their welfare and being okay. But, well, let's bring into the conversation. Right now, we have Abdul Dambature is the speaker, that's spokesperson for the Arewa Youth Assembly for Good Leadership, and he joins virtually from Abuja. We also have Mr. Taiwo Akinlami. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
You are welcome.
All right. Now, let me start with you. Abdul, really disturbing story last week when Nigerians woke up to a grim reality of children in court, minors particularly, some of them collapsing, you know, right there at the court premises. And that elicited questions, people asking, should these children even be, you know, at the courtroom in the first place? I'd like you to speak on that.
No, thank you, Mr. Depo, for giving me this opportunity. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate Nigerians for coming out to voice out the challenges and the injustice that we are facing, most especially with the youth. Mr. Depo, let me tell you something that mostly people don't know. Those boys that have been in detention with police for over a month before police took them to court. You see, they were with police for over a month before even police took them to court. That is the kind of injustice, and I want to tell Nigerians for them to know that the police has been doing, which is very unfortunate. We did the peaceful protest, embarked governors' peaceful protest, and at the end of the day, we decide to come and have a peaceful dialogue with the government, because we realize along the line some certain people are coming out to hijack the process because of their personal interest or because of the grievance they have with the government, whereby we are coming out to show out our genuine reason for the protest, so that the federal government will attend to us. But what happened is very unfortunate. Along the line, we realized some of our innocent young men were arrested. And if you check very well, these young men that they were arrested, they are very minor children from the age of 10 to 14. And if you said you arrested those young men because they hold a Russian flag or they fly the Russian flag, did you investigate who gave it to them? Where did they get it? Those people that sponsor them should be arrested, not these young men. But it's very unfortunate what the police did, and we are not happy with the action of the Inspector General of Police. I think he needs to be resigned based on this action that he did. He needs to resign his position as the Inspector General of Police.
Yeah, so wait, Abdul, are you calling for the resignation of the Inspector General of Police over this case?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course, on behalf of Northern Nigerian youth and Nigerian youth at large, I am calling for the resignation of the Inspector General of Police, and I am saying he is not competent. He needs to resign his position. Are you aware that after making our own investigation, we realized even the president himself, he is not aware of what is happening. Luckily, after our appeal, because he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we appeal to him so that he should intervene. Luckily, with the quick he made, the Attorney General of Federation took over the case. As I am telling you, the president has given order for the youth to be released. We must have to appreciate him. We must have to appreciate the Minister of Defense.
All right, Abdul, let me leave you for a moment. I want to bring in
those that are participating in it. But we are not happy. We are not happy with some of the things that the police have did, and we are calling for his resignation because the Northern Nigerian youth are not happy. We are not happy over this issue. And we are going to
your point definitely has been taken, Abdul,
so that we pay them back.
Your point has been taken. It's loud. It's clear. Let me bring in Taiwo Akinlami into the conversation. Taiwo Akinlami is a family attorney and child safeguarding expert. Now, Taiwo, I would like you to take us through what exactly the law says as regards this case, because we know that the spokesperson for the police actually said once you are above 7, you can stand trial. They said it in an interview. I would like you to take us through what exactly the law says, you know, as regards issues like this, particularly when it entails minors.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I listened to the PPRO of the Nigerian Police Force. His statement is very pathetic, very sad, very unbecoming of a public officer that is supposed to enforce the law. How do you enforce a law you are not even aware of? It is pathetic that the PPRO of the Nigerian Police does not know that Section 274 of the Child Rights Act has already proclaimed the supremacy of the Child Rights Act over every other law. In effect, the implication is that the Children and Young Persons Law that the Inspector General, the PPRO, the representative of the Nigerian government, and the representative of the Inspector General of Police was quoting is already abrogated. It's not in force. Now, in Abuja, the extant law is the Child Rights Act 2003. Now, 21 years after, it is pathetic that 21 years after, the representative of the Nigerian police that is supposed to enforce the Nigerian law is quoting a law that is not supposed to be in existence. That is very, very sad.
So are you saying that the PPRO missed it when he made that statement?
That is an ignorant statement, unbecoming of a law enforcer who does not know the law is supposed to enforce. That is disgraceful. That makes Nigeria a laughingstock. When the spokesperson for the law enforcement agency, the chief law enforcement agency of Nigeria, the Nigerian police, does not know that the extant law, when it comes to administration of justice of children in Nigeria, is the Child Rights Act, which provides that by virtue of Section 149, the court that is supposed to entertain matters that has to do with children is the family court. Note that this matter happened, these children were arraigned in Abuja. The Child Rights Act is in force in Abuja, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the PPRO does not know that. Not only that, those children are not supposed to be arraigned in public. Even the way we are showing their picture right now is wrong, because by virtue of the Child Rights Act, these children are supposed to be tried in camera if they are supposed to be tried. Number 3, the police unit that is supposed to be responsible for their case is called the Specialized Police Unit, provided for by the Child Rights Act. If these children, the law provides that that if you are going to detain children, if you are going to put children in custody, it should be the last resort. And if for whatever reason you are going to put them in custody, it has to be a government facility that is prepared for that for a period. These are children who have been in detention for, as of today, 95 days. Now, the president responded too late. I'm not going to praise the president for ordering the release of these children because they were not supposed to be detained in the first instance. Section 6 of the Child Rights Act makes it abundantly clear that children have the right to do what? To participate in protest, in peaceful assembly. These children participated in peaceful assembly. Allegedly, we are not even sure. These were children of
but the challenge, the security agencies are saying, or they have, is that they said some of these kids were, raising the Russian flag and chanting, dangerous chants, calling for the military to take over and the likes. I mean,
police cannot be the accuser and the jury. The police cannot be the accuser and the jury. The police, in the way the PPRO was talking, the PPRO was talking as an accuser and a jury. It ought not to be so. Let's assume without conceding that these children were raising flags. Let's assume without conceding that they were raising Russian flags. Let's assume without conceding that they were calling for the overthrow of government. Now, the law says they are innocent until proven guilty. Is that why they were kept in detention for 95 days? Is that why they were malnourished? Is that why they did not have access to food, to shelter, to clothing, to medical attention? So even Peter Nemi, that was on death row, the Supreme Court of Nigeria said that somebody is on a death row does not mean he should be dehumanized. These children have not even been convicted by any court. Peter Nemi was already a convicted criminal. And the Supreme Court said, you cannot take away his humanity, his dignity of human person, by virtue of the fact that he was on death row. These are children of words of wood and drops of water. What if they protested? Don't they have the right to protest? And if they protested and you pick them up, are you supposed to treat them 93 days? By virtue of Universal Basic Education Act, these children are supposed to be in school. Every child in Nigeria is entitled to the first 9 years of education. So when you keep them in prison for 9 years, what school did they go to? These are fundamental issues that are not being addressed. And today, it is not enough for the president to order their release. They must be compensated. They must be rehabilitated. They must be restored. They must be sent to school. And the president should come and apologize to Nigeria, because I don't want to separate the president for what has happened. The president is the chief commander-in-chief of the armed forces. We cannot say he was not aware. What if he was not aware? Whose problem is that? Is it not the president?
I mean, Taiwo, you've dug deep into it, which of course gives us, an insight into what the law actually says. Let me go back to Abdul. Now, Abdul, there are also links to the, Al-Majri system to this very unfortunate scenario, saying that majority of these kids, are products of the Al-Majri system, given the location at which they were picked up. I would like you to speak on that, particularly, in the light of the Al-Majri system.
The northern Nigerian youth, we have been the most patient and the most peaceful youth in Nigeria, because the situation we found ourselves is very unfortunate. The way most of our leaders are treating us carelessly, without showing concern, without showing no interest to the development on the youth in northern Nigeria. Although we have some of them that we must have to appreciate their competence and their support to the youth, but majority of our leaders or our representatives are not really representing the North. The reason why I said so, Mr. Depo, whatsoever these our leaders are doing is the reason why we have most of our youth on the street. Let me tell you what you don't know, Mr. Depo. The meaning of Almajiri, it means student. Student. So what does student have to do in the street? What does student have to do in the people's house, begging for food to eat? So all these are the challenges that we are facing. The meaning of Almajiri is purely a student. If really our leaders maintain this culture, empower the youth, we wouldn't have found.
So are you saying right now the situation? Okay. Are you saying right now the situation where we have a lot of all these kids on the streets begging and of course being prone to manipulation and situations like this very unfortunate situation that we just recently witnessed is as a result of certain quote and unquote leaders,
bad governance,
but not just bad governance, but leaders or people who are perceived to be leaders who are using these kids to their own maybe personal advantage and not following, in your context, the actual meaning of what the Almajiri system entails. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is, again, let me still come again to tell you that our politicians has failed us. And it's high time for we, the Northern Nigerian youth, to pay them back. 2027 is around the corner. If they like, they should keep on doing eye service to Mr. President. Because, for example, what the Inspector General Police did now is eye service.
Okay.
It's eye service, he did it to the first, and unfortunately, he get it wrong.
Okay, all right.
So exactly what most of our politicians from the north are doing. All they do is eye service. As I'm talking to you, we have senators at the National Assembly. How many of them that came out and spoke on behalf of the injustice and the Almajiri system that is going on in the north? They all keep quiet. They were scared because everybody wants to maintain his position.
All right, Abdul Dambature, we would of course come back to this conversation, but let's go on a quick commercial break. When we return, the show continues. Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Politics HQ on News Central Television. I still have my guest with me, Taiwo Akelami, a family attorney and a child safeguarding expert. I also have Abdul Dambature, Speaker of the Arawa Youth Assembly for Good Leadership. And of course, the matter at hand right now has to do with the fallout of the minors that were detained, but by the order of the president, should be released, as a fallout of the End Bad Governance protest that happened. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Now, before we go, Taiwo, I would like you to speak, generally on child rights in Nigeria and what you feel really needs to be done to ensure that the rights of children are protected and they get the quality and better life that they deserve. Because what just happened in the past few days is a very sad and grim reflection of maybe what quite a number of kids are going through that might not even make it to the mainstream media.
Well, it's not about, when you look at the snapshot of the state of our children, I want to put it straight that there's nothing today that an average Nigerian child enjoys from the Nigerian government. Nothing. Nothing. And I make that statement with every sense of responsibility. Now, so the question is, what exactly does an average Nigerian child enjoy from the children, from the government? Number one, is it education? If you take Lagos State, for example, you find that the number of private schools in Lagos State outweighs the number of private schools. As a matter of fact, it's like 18,000 private schools compared to 1,700 public schools, right? Take healthcare. Where in Nigeria does the Nigerian child have access to healthcare? Take shelter. Go to places like Ajegule in Lagos. What kind of accommodation do people have? People still practice open defecation, even in Lagos State, not to talk of other parts of the country. 20 million Nigerian children are out of school, the highest in the world. Now, when you now add the Almajiri children, it goes to 50 million. So when you put all of that together, so there are two kinds of children in Nigeria. The children whose parents now take over the responsibility of government. Their parents are the ones sending them to private school, sending them to private healthcare, and taking responsibility for their shelter and their security. Their parents do that. Now, the children of those whose parents cannot take responsibility for that are left in the lodge. That just shows you 95 days, children in detention. What school were they going to when they were in detention? That shows you the government does not care about their education. This is the same government that is saying that they are going to begin to arrest parents who refuse to send their children to school. Now, you kept a group of children for 93 days, 95 days. Are you now going to arrest yourself that those children were not in school? So ultimately, we don't have in Nigeria underprivileged children, because the people you call underprivileged are, when you say somebody is underprivileged, all the rights of the person has been met. So what is left now are privileges. What the Nigerian child is denied of are their rights: right to health, right to education, right to shelter, right to nutrition. All of those things they have been denied of. And so today, Mandela said there's no keener revelation of the soul of a nation than how they treat their children. The way we treat our children today, it is obvious that the soul of Nigeria has departed. It's either we are preparing for burial or we are preparing for resurrection. It is efforts like this, conversations like this, that can put us back in the path of resurrection.
All right, Taiwo. Taiwo, are you there? I think we have a bit of connectivity issues with you, Taiwo, but
it's already hope of tomorrow.
Okay.
Then we have no hope.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution, Taiwo. We would have also loved to take that of Abdul, but we really need to go. Gentlemen, thank you for your time on the show today. Abdul Dambature, Speaker, Arewa Youth Assembly for Good Leadership, and also Taiwo Akinlami, a family attorney and child safeguarding expert. Once again, gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
You are welcome.
All right, on this note, we, of course, will be dropping the curtains on today's episode. In case you missed out, you can actually catch up on our YouTube platform. That's News Central TV. You can also follow us across social media with the same name. You have it on the screen there, News Central TV. You can follow me personally at Dakpo, at Digboyi. The opinion of our guest remains theirs and not that of News Central. Until I come your way tomorrow, good night.